In 2007, YouTube revolutionized the social media space. And they did that by sharing ad revenue with the content creators. And this is the first time it really happened. Before that, creators would just create content and they would build up these massive followings, but they didn't benefit from that unless they went to outside companies. And so you had people on Vine, which was a social media platform that did short form video before TikTok. And you had massively popular creators, but they weren't making money by the content they created unless they got sponsors. Well, YouTube switched that all around. And what they said was, you make content for our platform, we're gonna put ads on that content, and you're gonna share in the profits. And if you are now part of the YouTube Partner Program, you will get 45% of the ad revenue of the ads that go in front of your videos. Now, this totally changed the social media landscape because this meant that people could now earn income by making videos. And they didn't have to have these relationships with other brands and companies. They could make it directly from YouTube. And the result is that now there are people who are full-time YouTube creators. And some of these people are wildly successful. Small percentage of people are wildly successful. But it really doesn't take much for you to start getting a couple of $100 or even $1,000 a month from YouTube. Now, when you're just starting off, this isn't necessarily the thing that you should be focused on. You are just figuring out how to put together a video. But a number of people are interested in becoming YouTubers, saying, hey, how do I do this full time? And so in this video, I'm just gonna go over the basics of the YouTube Partner Program so you know what's ahead of you. Later on in the series, we're gonna take a deep dive into the different ways that you can monetize your YouTube channel beyond YouTube. So even if you're not making a living on ad revenue, there may be other ways, and add them all together, that could be an income. So what is the YouTube Partner Program? Simply, it's a program that allows you to get revenue from the activity you do on YouTube. There are qualifications, and there are 2 levels of monetization that you can reach. And the first level requires that you have 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. So this is where subscribers are not a vanity metric. They really mean something, at least the first 500 or 1,000. So you have 500 subscribers, that's easy. People hit the subscribe. Watch hours. Okay, so think about how many times somebody has to watch a 5-minute video to give you 3,000 watch hours. But this is important because it makes sure that people who are serious are the ones being part of the partner program. But those watch hours only count your long form videos that is longer than 60 seconds and are a horizontal landscape mode. Now, you can use shorts views for your monetization if you get 10 million shorts views in the last 90 days. That's probably beyond what you're capable of doing. Unless you are a well-known TikToker or Instagrammer, well, then maybe you're going to be able to get 10 million views in 90 days. But for the rest of us, it's 3,000 watch hours in the last 12 months. And that gives us the first level of monetization. So this first level of monetization, where 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours, that allows you to set up channel memberships. And this is where your viewers can support you. They don't get much. They get little badges and special emojis, a little digital candy, but you can also give them advanced screening of your videos. You get 70% of what the viewers pay, and YouTube takes 30%. And so the immediate question may be, why would I do that instead of Patreon that I get a whole lot more of, say, the $10 that I charge? And the answer is, it's up to you. How many platforms do you want to maintain? Yes, you get more money if you have it on Patreon, but you have to send people off the platform that they are appreciating and enjoying and hearing you. And so you may lose people. They may say, yeah, I want to support this person, and so I'll go to Patreon later. And they never do. But with a YouTube support, there's the button right there. So you decide what's important to you. You've got Super Chat, Super Stickers. This is just people's ability to support your videos and your lives and such. It's essentially just tipping you right then and there. And then you get a store shelf, and this is going to allow you to sell merchandise that has your logo on it. If you do have like a Shopify store, there is a way to link this so you actually have your products under your video, and you're saying, hey, I like this. I can have a video talking about my product, and then they can buy it right then and there. Yeah, that's exactly what it's for. So these are the options at the first level of monetization. The second level of monetization requires 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the last 12 months. This is where you are now able to participate in the ad sharing. You'll get 45% of the ad revenue of the ads that are shown before, during, and after your video. Now, how much that 45% means depends upon how much the advertisers want to advertise in front of your video. And this is done on an auction system. So your video has certain ratings that YouTube presents to its advertisers and says, how much would you pay to be featured on this video or before this video? And there's an auction system. People say, okay, I see that video, it's got this kind of reach to these kind of people, I'll pay this amount. And then someone else will say, yeah, well, you know what, I'll pay a little bit more than that. And they figure out how much they're going to pay. So the value of your video as far as ad revenue is how attractive is your video, your topic, your popularity to advertisers. If you want to be a serious YouTuber, that is going to be a research item on your list. And so it's time to go into the halftime. When we come back, I'm going to have some straight talk and a heart-to-heart discussion about money and YouTube. We're also going to be hearing from Alex from Leafy Street and Dave Kaufman from Dave Kaufman's Adventures. See you soon.
Test.
Okay. All right, we are back, and Yvette has gone through the next step, which is putting together the episode list. So, Yvette, how did you do?
I did pretty well. I did have some struggles, and I worked through it.
How many episodes did you get?
At least 26.
Okay.
Yes.
And as a review, last episode we talked about putting together your episode list. And so what this is taking your idea and expanding it to potential video ideas. So you have a roadmap. And so, all right, you came up with 26 ideas.
Yes. And I gave myself a little time. I know the list is actually going to increase.
What was it like putting together this list? What were your challenges?
My challenges were, where do I start? Where do I want to make my starting point? Okay. So basically, I think of an introduction to the Fantasticus or the Satanic Leaf-tailed Gecko. And then what I was trying to think of, where should I go from there? Should I begin with straight into care? Should I go your first 24 hours with your gecko? I just wanted to figure out the natural progression of where, if a person were to receive a gecko, what comes next. And then the other difficulty, but actually it was something good, is each topic can actually be a different video, because if you don't want to make it too long, or maybe I do, but each topic could be broken down. And so that's where the idea was, I can even have more videos. And so after that, it just kept flowing and flowing and flowing. And then the ideas just kept coming. And then I was thinking, okay, I better stop so I can have a list ready. But no, it just kept going. And then it also let me keep open or in mind that I may have other questions that aren't answered by potential customers or customers that I could also create a video for. So then it started flowing. So
okay.
That
what
was
I like
success.
Is that what you said fit in perfectly with your purpose and promise. Your purpose was that you wanted to help people be more successful and answer questions and save your time. The promise was that you'd be giving your customers the information they needed to be successful. And when you started putting together episodes, you talked about putting together episodes that they would need to know once they got their gecko. And so that you have a synergy here. We're using big words now. Synergy.
Big synergy.
All right. Well, thank you very much. How are you feeling about your list?
Oh, I love my list, and it's going to grow. It's going to keep growing. And that's good. It's good. That means I'll always have information. And if I just looking at these lists, if there's something new that's been discovered or a different way of doing something or maybe a troubleshooting thing, I can add to that list and the list will just keep growing.
All right. So you have your first video coming up in a couple of days.
Yes.
Have you decided on the topic of that video?
Yes, I have.
Are you going to share with us?
Yeah, it's just the intro to the coolest gecko. Mm-hmm. And there may be a little more added, but I'm not sure
intro
yet.
To the coolest gecko.
Yes,
all right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. And we'll be back tomorrow with this next episode and see where she's going with this.
Excellent. All right.
Bye. Welcome back. It's now time that we have a straight talk, heart-to-heart discussion about money and YouTube. Many people like the idea of being a content creator. It's a whole lot of work. It's more work than if you have a 9-to-5 job, but it's very fulfilling, very enjoyable, and a number of people would say, yeah, I would love to be a professional YouTuber. We have professional YouTubers. It's something that's within your grasp. Look at Dave Kaufman's Reptile Adventure. His job is to travel around the world and look at reptiles in the wild, share that with you. That's a pretty cool job. You want a job like that? Well, come up with a great YouTube channel and, well, you can make it your job. But the straight talk part of that is, it is difficult to create a following. It's 100% on you to create enough of a following that you can bring in enough ad revenue or some of these outside revenue strategies that you can make enough to have this be your job. YouTube is a tricky beast because there's the algorithm that you have to contend with, and it's not uncommon for videos to suddenly be demonetized. Now that's a horrible word in the YouTube lexicon. What that means is a creator puts up a video and is expecting a certain amount of ad revenue from that video. And if YouTube's artificial intelligence system or whatever system decides this is violating our community standards or is scaring away advertisers, they can do what's called demonetize it, which means you're not going to make any money off of this video. If YouTube is your job, well then that is like 25% of your month's income down the drain. You have some ways of contesting that, but that's a real pain to have your income based on something that some AI calculates out, which may or may not be deserved. And so the fame and fortune is wonderful, but sometimes that fortune isn't what you expect it to be. And then there's algorithm changes. And if your high-ranking videos suddenly aren't being shown anymore, well, you're not getting ad revenue anymore. I know there's this sense that when I create this whole library of YouTube videos, then it sits on YouTube and it's constantly shown to people. And so essentially that's what? Passive income. I'm not doing anything and I'm getting income from it. Technically, that's correct. And yes, that does happen, and it can be a career for someone, but that is very rare. On my Chameleon Academy channel, I have over 750 videos. I'm getting close to 800 videos. And you're thinking, if I just got $1 a month from each one of those, I'd get $800 a month. Yeah, I wish. Most of them are just getting cents. And the ones that are wildly taking off, I don't know why they're wildly taking off. It's not like I can just recreate it. And this is a common complaint with YouTubers. They don't know why their videos that totally take off. So many YouTubers have this story of they've just been grinding for year after year after year, and they're just not getting noticed by the YouTube algorithm. They're not getting out there. And then all of a sudden, some video that they did 2 years ago just pops off. And all of a sudden, their channel shoots up with subscribers and success. While we love hearing stories like that, the fact is none of them were able to do that on command. It just happened to them. And relying on something just happening is a real poor business plan. Now, my Chameleon Academy channel I create great content, but it just crawls along and crawls along. And it'll continue to crawl along until some video somewhere just pops off and all of a sudden my channel just spikes. But that's an awful lot like playing the lottery. And honestly, that's the truth of it. I wish it were true that creating good content and really putting quality into videos meant that you were going to get rewarded. All it means though is you're building that library of quality just waiting for that lightning strike and for you to be discovered. It is very much a build it and they will come type thing, but you have no idea how long it's going to be before they come. And honestly, I see this in real time. I've seen people who have done everything right for their channel. They had a great name, they had great quality, and they had a great persona, they had a great presentation, and they just never get into the mainstream. And then I see people who are just throwing things together, and all of a sudden one of their videos spikes, and now they're at 100,000 subscribers, which is like the milestone that we all wish we could get to. Is it fair? No. That's the reality of it. You could work really hard and not get the success that, well, frankly, would be fair for you to get. And you will watch people who don't have as good of stuff as you do, don't work as hard as you do, and you will see them be more successful than you. And so I just want to give you context as you're getting into this YouTube thing. If you want to make money at it, if you want this to be your job, just know that you are going to be working very hard and you are going to be looking for that lucky lightning strike. You may get success from your hard work, which I hope you would. That's what we want to see. Or you may get success from a lightning strike. And the thing is, for that lightning strike, you just have to keep playing. You just have to keep producing. And this is why being a YouTuber means you have to be dedicated to this, if only to be around long enough for that lightning to strike. Now, I don't want to send you away thinking it's all about luck. It's not all about luck. And the quality of your video, the entertainment of your video, that is of prime consideration. But I also want you to realize that luck can play a huge part in this. And so to bring around to the point, if you are serious about this being a career path, you need to have the ability to be patient for it to happen. I hope it happens immediately for you, but we have to be realistic. Let's go ahead and ask some of those YouTubers that are now doing this full time. Here's Alex from Leafy Street. I asked him, for people who are just starting off, how can they be successful? How much of it is hard work and how much of it is luck?
I've seen a lot of people say it's like 98% luck. I don't think that's true. I think it's like 75% luck, say 50. Because you have to hit the right kind of, maybe the hobby's getting a big resurgence or something like that. So there is a luck element to it, but I think a lot of it is just being honest with yourself and then getting feedback. That's truly what it's about. But the biggest thing, honestly, is just taking feedback from other people, being honest with yourself, and then just working hard to be better and fix your mistakes and just do a little bit better every time. And it could be small stuff like getting better at titling your videos or getting a better mic because people cannot tolerate bad audio. Is this audio good? I hope it's good. And then you just have to make little changes, improve little things every time, and eventually it'll just get better. That's just what it is. And it might happen overnight, which is very discouraging to see other people do because it makes you feel self-conscious. But for most people, it's a slow grind. Like I did not have like overnight success. It took years of doing very poorly to like learn what worked and just improving little things. Jumping from getting like an on-camera mic to getting the podcast mic that Joe Rogan uses. I like looked it up. I'm like, what's the biggest podcast? It's gonna be this one. Like just even that little leap, people now suddenly like listening to you, and it's just making incremental changes. You can't drive yourself crazy, you just have to continue to improve.
And let's hear from our globetrotting YouTuber, Dave Kaufman. I asked him that question. How much of it is hard work and how much of it is luck?
So that is a very good question. Hard work is number one. YouTube is, think of it as a harsh mistress that it's a beast that you constantly need to feed in order to be successful. So if you want to start a YouTube channel, you need to pretty much upload at least at a minimum once a week. So pick a day, upload on that day at that time, so that when you get a following, they're going to know that you upload on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Pacific time, let's say. That's when this is uploaded. But part of that hard work isn't just going out and filming videos, going and editing videos, uploading videos. It's networking within your niche. And that's what this is all about, actually. So when I first started, nobody really knew who I was. And when you first start, nobody's going to know who you are. It's going to be very discouraging. You're going to struggle literally for years before anybody notices you're there. You need to basically upload about 100 videos before anybody really starts watching. And that can take a couple of years of hard work with little payoff. But then once you reach that threshold, it's the greatest thing in the world. And when I first started, nobody in the reptile world knew who I was. Nobody would watch my videos. Nobody would collab with me. And collabs are the best way to grow your channel. But nobody's going to collab with you if you are trying to collab with bigger YouTubers. Because if a YouTuber has 100,000 or 1 million subscribers and you have 4,000 subscribers, chances of them collabing with you is going to be a little rough. But Catalia was the first person who said, yeah, come on down to Texas and let's collab. And that's going to happen for you as well. And that's part of that hard work, is just getting out there, meeting the people, going to reptile expos. Or if your niche is not reptiles, find where your niche gathers. Make yourself present, make yourself known, introduce yourself to people, and that's how you grow a YouTube channel.
And so, it's not easy. But then again, what is easy? How many of these jobs out there, these traditional jobs, would we say are stable or are easy? I have been in the corporate world for most of my professional life, and I gotta say, being an entrepreneur or trying to be a content creator like I'm working on right now, it's not a whole lot different as far as stability. You can get laid off at any time. The company can close at any time. And so I think this idea that there's anything stable out there is more of an illusion. And yes, there are things that are supposed to be more stable. There are definitely things that our parents feel more comfortable about than being a YouTuber. Well, except for me. I mean, my daughter said she wants to go get a master's degree, and I told her, she can do her hobby stuff once she gets monetized on YouTube. So, I'm the opposite. But it comes down to, what do you want to do with your life? You have a certain amount of years here on Earth, and if you are passionate about something enough that you're willing to build the skills so you can do it, I say at least try it. Figure out how you can do it, even if that means that you've got to get up early, got to stay up late, go out on the weekends and do your filming, do this as a side job, do it, try it. You might be the one that really succeeds at this, and if that's you, I'd hate for you to have missed this opportunity to explore this possibility in life. And so keep watching this mini-series. It could be just a fun thing to do, or it could be a new life for you. And so you can think on that tonight. I'll see you next time.